Arthur felt a wave of sickness as Rience turned his horse to show the cloak that dragged behind him. It was trimmed with beards of assorted sizes and colors. "This belongs to the other man who thought they could beat me." Arthur could not reason with the madman. He dragged his heels into Lemuri's sides. "For Britain!" he cried, holding Excalibur aloft behind him. Men drew their swords and charged. The two kings found each other quickly, Rience eager for bloodshed, and Arthur keen to avoid it by ending the battle as soon as possible. Their swords clashed and their horses reared. Rience cried out as Excalibur found its mark, and he was flung from his horse, landing weakly on the ground. Arthur dismounted and pushed his way through the fighting with his shield. Rience stood, throwing off the tangle of his cloak. He ignored the blood running down his arm and ran at Arthur. So rest, deflecting the blow. Arthur moved out of range before darting in for another attack, this time catching Rience squarely on his chainmail shirt. The blow sent Rience reeling backwards. He was almost knocked off his feet as one of Arthur's men crashed into him, cutting the man down with one swipe. Rience barreled into Arthur. Both men went crashing to the ground. A sharp pain tore through Arthur's side. Gritting his teeth, he pushed Rience away, pinning him to the ground as he pressed Excalibur against his throat. Glancing down his body, Arthur saw blood seeping through his shirt from a wound on his side. That was all the chance Rience needed. Raising his knee, he drove it into Arthur's stomach, sending him sprawling, rolling over. Arthur staggered to his feet, summoning all that was left of his strength and thinking only of Guinevere. He charged repeatedly, swinging Excalibur with all his might. Rience blocked every blow, but finally, Arthur saw an opening. He thrust at Rience. Excalibur sank deeply through metal and flesh. Rience gasped and fell to the ground. He looked down at the blade sticking out of his chest. He looked up at Arthur. "You," he gasped before he slumped onto the grass and saw no more. Gazing down at the lifeless body, Arthur's strength finally left him. Chapter 7. Thanks to the protection of the scabbard given to him by the Lady of the Lake, Arthur recovered from his wounds. Because Arthur had fought for Camelot, Lord Leodegrance was more than happy to grant him his daughter's hand in marriage. Arrangements were made for a wedding to take place at Camelot. It wasn't long before Arthur was well enough to exhaust Guinevere and her father to her new home.